This is Optimal Relationships Daily, episode 673, Life Lessons from Sticky Family Situations, by Kelly Samson with Altris.co.nz. Hello, everybody. I am Greg Audino, welcoming you back to the show that's all about improving your relationships each and every weekday. Today's post is all about clear communication and how it's related to expectations. Those pesky, irresponsible, unavoidable expectations. If you frequently feel like you have to give in to others out of obligation, this episode will really show you what you should do instead. So if you're ready to learn more, we're going to get right into Kelly's post and start optimizing your life. Life Lessons from Sticky Family Situations by Kelly Samson with Altris.co.nz. I've heard that having expectations is the mother of all disappointments, and I agree with it, except when they're not. A friend of mine, Matt, name has been changed to ensure my safety, recently ran into a sticky situation that we've all probably fallen into at least once. Matt was in need of a tradesman to complete some home renovations. He was working full-time and had a baby of 3 months at home. He knew he didn't have the time to do the work himself, and he prioritized his family and job higher than paying a professional. Matt happened to be talking to his dad about the renovations, and his dad offered to do the work as he had some spare time. Matt's first instinct was that this wasn't the best idea. He knew he was time poor, under pressure with work and all the stresses of a new baby, and he just wanted to pay a professional so he wouldn't have to worry about anything. His father, however, was insistent, and with that, Matt felt he was made to feel a sense of obligation to his father. After a few discussions, he agreed to give the job to his dad, but he had a heavy feeling in his chest, one that he had felt in the past when he did something he would later regret. Matt's dad had no hesitation and was very keen to do the job. He thought it would be great to spend time with Matt, and it was a good chance for them to bond over a bit of DIY. Once Matt's dad began the job, problems quickly began to arise on a number of fronts. Firstly, the job was a lot bigger and more complex than he had appreciated. With this realization, he felt out of his depth, which led to the second issue. Matt's dad wanted to spend time with his son, and he started to pressure Matt to help him after work and at the weekend. This was exactly the reason Matt wanted to hire an independent contractor. He didn't want to do any renovations, and he wanted the time outside work to spend with his family. This led to the third issue. With Matt now working full-time and helping his dad in his spare time, he was not available for his family, which resulted in his wife feeling under even more pressure to care for their home and new baby. When Matt was home, he felt so exhausted that he and his wife were frequently getting into arguments. It fast became a downward spiral. Most of us have learnt over the years that it can be a minefield to mix business with family and friends. When Matt ignored his reservations and gave the job to his dad, he opened himself up to many negative consequences that he did not anticipate. Key learnings from this common situation. Number 1, expectations. In business agreements, it pays dividends later on to clearly lay out your requirements and your expectations up front. If Matt had clearly communicated the scale and scope of the job with his dad from the beginning, and had explained that he had no time to help with the job, then his father would have had very different expectations, and may have decided that he did not want the job at all. How to ensure clear expectations. A. These are my requirements. B. These are my expectations. C. What are your requirements? D. What are your expectations? E. What gaps in our expectations are there? Number 2. Obligation. Matt felt like he had a sense of obligation to his dad. Often the feeling of obligation is the heaviest with those we care about the most. However, once we peel away the layers, are we really obliged, or is it a false sense of responsibility? Would communicating openly and authentically actually serve everyone more? Number 3, awareness. Having a wider awareness of the flow-on effects from giving his dad the job would have helped Matt to stand strong on the decision that would serve him and his family best. 4, intuition. When Matt decided to give the job to his dad, he felt a heavy feeling in his chest. This was his intuition giving him a signal. Learning to notice the signs and signals of your intuition is a fantastic early warning system in any situation. With clear and open communication, Matt would have delivered a crystal clear picture of exactly what was expected and required for the job. This clear communication would have set the boundaries of what was required to ensure all parties went in with well-defined expectations. At Altris, we know how shining the light on your feelings of obligation, expectations, and ways of communicating pays dividends to your success and happiness. Just like this situation between Matt and his dad, the clearer communication and expectations are, the better the results. You just listened to the post titled Life Lessons from Sticky Family Situations by Kelly Samson with altris.co.nz. For many, family relationships like these end up being our biggest sources of frustration, rather than our biggest sources of joy, which I think we'd all like them to be. So wouldn't it be nice to have a life characterized by warm, happy, and healthy relationships? If you've been thinking about seeking advice from a professional, BetterHelp Online Counseling offers you a convenient and safe online setting to do just that. Their licensed counselors specialize in areas like anger, relationships, family conflicts, grief, and more. A little more about BetterHelp. Whatever you share during your session remains confidential. You can schedule your sessions at a time that works for you. You can contact your counselor through text, video, chat, or phone, whichever you're most comfortable with. And if you're unhappy with your counselor, you can request a new counselor without being charged extra. And while BetterHelp is not a crisis line, you'll be able to contact your therapist in less than 24 hours. And best of all, it's a truly affordable option. Optimal Relationships Daily listeners get 10% off their first month with discount code ORD. So why not get started today? Go to betterhelp.com/ORD. Simply fill out a questionnaire to help them assess your needs and get matched with a counselor you'll love. That's betterhelp.com/ORD. And thank you so much to Kelly for shining a light on the ultimate downfalls of expectation. While expectation is essentially impossible to eliminate completely, Kelly reminds us that we need not try to do this anyway. We don't have to rid ourselves of expectation. We can instead take an alternate route by being very communicative about our expectation, which is a really healthy strategy for working with our expectations that's not often discussed. So, thank you so much again to Kelly. Thank you everybody for listening. I will talk to you guys all tomorrow, and I will share 2 posts on raising healthy kids and daughters, where your optimal life awaits.